boys and girls. It's your boys Locked Down, and we are here on Selection Sunday. And guess what we're talking about today?
March
The
Madness
of March.
This is March, and we're talking about it.
It's
Whole
actually
episode,
madness.
an entire episode devoted to March Madness because it is that maddening. We have a lot to talk about today. Yes, it's March.
Yeah.
Finally, it's March. We've waited all year for this. I love March Madness. I'm so excited. We're devoting an entire episode to this of the Lockdown podcast. All right, boys. It's what are our initial thoughts on, just to start off, where what are some hot takes we have for our brackets?
I love this bracket. There's so many fantastic games, even in like the first round. I love the VCU UCF game in the East because whoever wins that goes on to play Duke. And I think UCF could actually give Duke some like real problems because of their crazy size and their crazy length on the defensive side. Another game to look out for, I'm telling you guys, in the Midwest, UNC plays Iona. Dude, Iona is a legitimate team. Like, they have a lot of talent, and they have like a stud shooting guard that's gonna, I think, go in the first round.
I think
it's that good.
UNC probably
like
has
so good.
Homie's good. UNC probably has one of the hardest treks throughout. That if they were to beat Iona, they go up against Utah State, who's going to be a Cinderella team the entire time they're in. If they take a deep run, then they got potentially either Kansas or Auburn in the Sweet 16. Like I feel, Chris, I'm sorry, but UNC's got a hard trek to get to the.
Oh, they do.
They do.
Yeah. Not gonna lie about that.
I really hope we get that Kansas Auburn game because that game is gonna be fire.
That's gonna be awesome.
Bonkers, dude.
Oh my gosh, that's gonna be a great game.
I like Auburn in that game if that gets to that game.
I mean, same. We need to talk about how good that Auburn basketball team is.
Let's just start with Auburn.
Bruce Pearl has done a fantastic job just reinvigorating that program. They've been bad for the past like 25 years. And then Bruce Pearl's been there for I think 3 years now, and they've consistently gotten better. And now they're finally at a point like they have a lot of good recruits and they have a lot of good young guys. And they're a fun team to watch, man. They can shoot the ball from everywhere all over the court. They're good.
I tell you what Auburn has, though, that's unlike any other team, especially in the SEC, in the tournament that I watched. They consistently have 100% effort every single night. Tennessee didn't show any effort. They showed all of it against Kentucky, and they weren't ready for Auburn. Auburn just blew them out of the building.
Yeah,
it's like they consistently have the effort, and if they continue that in the March Madness and the tournament, they could make a really long run. Yeah,
I definitely think so.
What are some?
Zach was sitting here talking about this big upset he had before the show started.
My bracket. And I did not select these upsets blindly. I put some thought into, as soon as I was eating dinner with the fam and as Selection Sunday was going on, I would see the matchup and say, oh, hell yes, that's going to be an upset. I can't even, I have a couple, but my favorite one right now, or two of my favorite ones, I think Belmont's going to beat Temple in the first four, and they're going to go on not only to beat Maryland, not only to beat LSU. They're not going to lose to Michigan, or they're not going to beat Michigan State. But I do see them getting to the Sweet 16, Belmont, to face Michigan State. I don't know why. I have something about that team. Another big one, Murray State. I've got Murray State going pretty far, actually, to the Elite Eight. So I've got them beating FSU.
Whoa.
I've got them beating the Zags. I've got them losing to Michigan. Yeah, bro.
Gonzaga.
I've got them beating Zags, bro.
Insane person.
That's my team. This Murray State's my team. I'm riding with this year. Look,
Murray State's great. They're fantastic. But they're kind of like the Allen Iverson 76ers, to be honest. Where they have that incredible star in John Morant, and then they have a bunch of like all on the rest of the team. I don't think. Listen, man.
They're probably not, but
Morant might be able to get because they play Marquette in the first round.
Yeah.
and Morant might be able to push them past them, but I don't think they can take out Florida State. I'm going to be honest.
That's what I'm talking about.
I think Florida State just has too much shooting. I don't think Murray State's going to be able to keep up with them.
Well, that's your
we'll
bracket's opinion.
Again, I don't even know if they're going to beat Marquette because Marquette is solid, man. Like, because we're looking at the West right now, and basically the winner of Marquette Murray State plays Florida State, essentially.
Mm-hmm.
I think that first matchup too, Marquette Murray State, John Morant and Marcus Howard going head to head, man. That's gonna be wild. Like it's gonna be so crazy.
Well, Florida State doesn't have an easy out too. They play a good Vermont team that's a really good shooting team. So I mean, I still think they get by them, but
if they catch fire,
it's not a lock. Yeah.
We also get a Rick Pitino revenge game in the East bracket with Louisville and Minnesota, 7 and 10 seeds. I don't think Minnesota stands a chance.
They
honestly.
did that on purpose.
They had to.
Absolutely.
I mean, come on.
They're not getting out of the first round. So.
You don't think Minnesota has a chance? I think they got a chance.
I
really do.
I just like Louisville's team.
I think Louisville's like one of the more overrated teams.
Think so?
I do too.
Yeah.
I still think they're gonna win, but they're overrated.
I really like. I like Iowa State a lot. I think I compare them to Minnesota in a lot of ways, like from last year. I don't know if you guys remember Iowa State last year, but nobody really expected a lot out of them, and they had a couple big who just dominated like late in the season, and they actually played a really good basketball. And I see the same out of Minnesota. I don't know if they're going to upset Louisville, but I actually, you know what? I'm calling that one. I think Minnesota is going to get over Louisville.
Ooh, nice.
Well, before we get deeper into our brackets too, I want to hear what you guys think about what the committee did with the 1 seeds. And we got 3 ACC teams with Duke being the number 1 overall. We have Virginia, UNC, and Gonzaga. Now, to me, Gonzaga lost to St. Mary's in their conference championship game. Michigan State beat Michigan to win the Big Ten championship game. And then so basically Gonzaga ends up getting the number 1 seed. Michigan State gets the 2 seed. And what do they give Michigan State? They put them in the same region as Duke. It's like, shouldn't they be in the same region as Gonzaga? And it's like, even for Duke, it's like, you get the number 1 overall seed. Okay, well, Michigan State's on the other side, the best 2 seed in the nation right now.
Yeah.
It's like, I don't know. But apparently what I saw, the committee's reason for that is because I guess the region that Michigan State's in right now is the closest to where their location is at the college. So they try to make it easier for transportation.
Oh, okay. Sure.
But still, it's like,
kind of a cop-out answer.
I don't know. I feel like that shouldn't even be the reason. I think it should be based on rankings.
Yeah.
But I don't know. That was something that kind of caught my eye. I don't know what you guys think.
I don't know, man. I don't think the C's are too far off. I think, I tell you what, Michigan State versus Duke is going to be a good game. I'll tell you that much. That's honestly the game I think we're going to get. I think that's going to be like the normal conference, like the normal division. All the other ones, I think we're going to get like nuts things happening. But I think it's going to be Duke, Michigan State, and I think Duke's going to get out of that game. So I think the East is going to be like the generic path. We may get a couple upsets, like St. Louis and Virginia Tech, or something nuts like that.
Yeah.
But yeah, I think for the most part, it's going to be a pretty straightforward conference, as opposed to like the Midwest, which I think has the opportunity to be like nuts, because Kentucky has shown this year that they can lose to. I mean, they can just lose. Like, they're not a perfect basketball team. Like,
I have the most upsets in this region too.
Yeah, like Seton Hall very well could just beat Kentucky. Like,
even Wofford. Wofford's really good.
They both could.
I actually have Wofford beating Kentucky.
There it is. I mean, that's fair, man.
And I also have Ohio State beating Iowa State.
Okay.
And I also have Auburn beating both Kansas and North Carolina and Wisconsin.
Wisconsin.
I have Wisconsin going to the Final Four.
Wisconsin's in a different region.
I know. I'm saying. Well, I just threw it in there, but I have.
Okay.
Yeah.
I have Wisconsin
so you have Auburn
from the South and Auburn from the Midwest. But yeah, I have Auburn going all the way to the Final Four. But at the same time, this entire region is like a throw up. No one. It's
You know,
wild.
if Wisconsin beating Auburn.
No,
What
I have
are you
I have
talking
Auburn. I have
about?
Auburn beating Wisconsin.
Oh,
I didn't say who was gonna win yet. I
you
have.
have Auburn in the. Hold on.
I
Zach,
told you
love
got upsets, bro.
Zach, I absolutely love you. When I hit each other with the Final Four real quick. Now that we just kind of got into that.
Sure.
Okay, Zach. So in the South you got Wisconsin, in the Midwest you got Auburn. Who you got in the East and West?
You want to guess?
I'm guessing in the East you have Duke.
Mm-hmm.
Okay, and I'm guessing in the West you have. Do you have Murray State?
No. They didn't go that far.
Oh.
Who do you have for the West? I honestly, Michigan.
I was super reluctant to pick them after their last game against Michigan State, I believe.
Yeah, they just played
And
them today.
it was rough watching it, but I like their path. I have them beating Florida, Buffalo, and Murray State to get to the Final Four. Right?
Montana.
Yes.
Montana's gonna, dude.
Dude,
You
you
think
better watch
Montana's
for
gonna
Farley
stand a
Dickinson.
chance?
Farley Dickinson's going all the way.
You think that's gonna start there? A 15 beating a 2 right there in the freaking
Absolutely not.
West.
No.
Oh, Montana. That's what you're saying. Yeah, I forgot about
School,
Montana.
what is that school? F. Dickinson?
Farley Dickinson
Oh,
and Prairie View A&M.
I know that one. They were in college football games. I don't know F. Dickinson. I want them to win like immediately.
Yes.
Wait, hold on. So what's your guys' biggest upset that you have in your bracket? Now that we're kind of on upsets right now, sort of, kind of. We're going all over the place tonight.
So I don't have a 16 or a 15 seed winning,
Okay.
but I do have a 14 seed. That is Northern Kentucky beating Texas Tech in the West region. And then they will take on Buffalo in the round of 32.
You have. Oh, okay, that's interesting. Chris has Northern Kentucky beating Texas Tech in the West right off the bat, 14 over a 3.
Yep.
Ooh.
That's your biggest upset?
That's my biggest upset.
That's a good upset. Yeah, I have Iona over North Carolina. It's not a joke.
I might change mine just because that's so funny.
I watched. I think it was the Sun Belt tournament, which is what they won, and I was legitimately impressed with Iona, like more than I've been with a lot of teams this year in college basketball.
Yeah.
I really hope
they blew pretty much everybody out. They have like legitimate shooting on the outside, like consistent legitimate shooting. They have a couple good like point guards and slashers who can attack the rim. I don't know. I like Iona a lot.
Did you know?
What?
Number 1 seeds are 135-1 against 16 seeds, and that one loss came last year. Could it happen again?
Oh yeah.
Virginia's not losing again.
They got a pretty
They're Gardner Webb.
Gardner Webb.
Gosh, I hope Gardner Webb wins. Oh my goodness.
I know. I really hope North Carolina just blows out Iona now that you picked them.
Man. It's probably gonna happen.
You just gotta pick them. I get it.
But I like it. I like the team a lot. They're a lot of fun to watch. Wait, did Virginia lose last year? Were they the ones?
Yeah, they lost to UMBC.
First round.
They were the one
about
overall
that.
seed, and they lost.
That's crazy.
Everyone's saying it can't happen again.
They're
Can't
not
happen again to
losing again.
Virginia.
There's no way.
Ooh, I want to do the Let's go 8 and 9s down the bracket.
Well, before we get there, Zach, what's your biggest upset?
I'm
We
sorry.
didn't get to you yet.
You're good. That's a fantastic question. Let's see. So I'm just kind of going down the list here. I have a 12 beating a 5. I think that's my biggest upset. I have two 12 beatings 5s in Murray State over Marquette, and then I have Liberty over Mississippi State.
Interesting.
I got Murray State as well. And I also have Oregon beating Wisconsin and then beating Kansas
Oregon's
State.
red hot right now too. That could be interesting.
So I had them going to the Sweet 16.
That's fair. I could see them beating Kansas State.
I would not be shocked if Oregon went to the Elite Eight. They beat Virginia.
Right
I was really close to picking them.
Yeah. I mean, I never trust Virginia, man. You know, there's one of the schools where it's like, they never have like the guy. Like they never have like this crazy scorer that you can rely on late in games.
I mean, they're very good defensively and they'll slow you down, but when he gets into crunch time, who are they going to go to?
Yeah.
It's all
Try to-
about shooting in the tournament. It's all about matchups.
Yeah, exactly.
What Matt? The 8 and 9 seeds.
Yeah, I
What
wanted
is
to
that?
look at the pick'em
Yeah.
games, 8 and 9s, because those are like a lot of fun.
Yeah.
Matt, you can start.
All right, so first one in the East, VCU and UCF. I love UCF.
Yeah.
Oh my gosh, they have Taco Fall, but they also have another big
Taco.
man who's another 7-footer, and they just clog that paint up like crazy, and you just can't do anything inside at all. I love this team a lot. They're a lot of fun to watch.
They're really fun.
They're fun. They're kind of like wacky because like they're not that great technically. They also have a really good wing player. I don't remember what his name is. But he's like a 6'9", like small forward. Dude's nuts. I was watching their game in the tournament the other day, and I was really impressed.
Is that Taylor or is that someone? I think it's someone else. BJ Taylor. Or is that someone else?
I don't know.
That was off the top of my head. I'm not really sure.
I'm not sure. That actually might be it. But yeah. But they're like 3 through 5 positions are like really stacked and really solid. And
They had a really good win a couple weeks ago at Houston, who's a 3 seed. I believe they only have 3 losses all year.
Yeah, they beat Cincinnati and
Yeah.
Houston this year.
Mhm. Oh yeah. They really started playing better later in the year as well.
Mm-hmm.
So that's why I like them a lot.
I do like that matchup though.
What do you got for that, Chris?
I have UCF as well.
Yeah, me too.
I mean, VCU has shown that they've had success in the past in March Madness, but I mean, you can't stop the Taco Fall
Taco Fall.
effect. When they move on, if they move on and they play Duke, and we see a Taco Fall versus Zion Williamson matchup,
Holy crap, dude!
that is a must-watch game. I
would call out of work.
I'd
for
be
that
so
game,
excited
honestly.
to see that. Well, it might be on the weekend. It'd probably be a weekend game.
Oh, even bad. Oh, it is over the weekend. Oh,
Yeah, be a Saturday or
you heard
Sunday.
that, boss? I'll be there.
Yeah, the guy on UCF, his name is Aubrey Dawkins.
Aubrey Dawkins.
Okay.
Yeah. Plays the 2 and the 3, and watch out, man. He's gonna go to the NBA. He's a junior right now, but he's dude's fire. He's good.
Ole Miss, Oklahoma. What are we thinking for that one?
Ooh. Ole Miss, Oklahoma. That's a tough game,
That was
man.
tough.
Yeah, this is one of my hardest ones.
Oh man,
Well, the winner's gonna start with an O.
got a point. I hate him so much.
What'd you say? Oh,
He's gonna start with an O. There it is.
shut up.
Um,
Ole Miss is their last 12 games. They're 1-11. That's worth noting.
Wait, what conference is this in?
This
What
is
in the
the
world?
South.
They're 20-12 though.
Says the last 12
That's
games.
probably wrong. I see that too.
Come on, ESPN. What are you doing? You're
No,
messing up our podcast.
First of all, if that's true, then there's no way they're winning.
Oh, I got because Oklahoma. That's weird. Hold on.
Oklahoma's 3
Let's
and
keep
9
going.
though in the last 12 games.
Huh? Really?
Yeah.
Neither team is that good.
Well, disregarding
Still a
that,
pick 'em then if they're
because
both not
that's
good. So,
Very true.
I got Ole Miss in this one. I have
Oh,
no reason. I just have them winning.
oh shoot. 1, 2.
I don't have a
3,
reason
4.
either, dude. I don't know.
Oh, they're not 1-11. What are they talking about?
I mean, they put up a good fight against Tennessee, lost by 2. Kentucky lost by 4. Like, they lost to Arkansas by 1. Like, I think I like Mississippi in this game. I do.
Yeah.
Honestly, I think they're a solid team.
I picked Oklahoma just because I like 9s over
They
in
don't
this matchup.
They don't got Trae Young anymore. They're not gonna win.
Ole Miss is
Fair,
in
fair.
they're in a tougher conference too, so
Yeah. SEC's
we'll
usually
see.
strong the past couple of years.
Mm. All right, well then, let's see. Oh, did you pick Zach?
Oklahoma.
Okay. We got in the West region, 8 seed Syracuse going up against 9 seed Baylor. Who you guys got?
Oh, this is such a good game. I'm so excited. Man, I don't know, man.
Yes.
I got Cuse. Experience gives them the edge.
hmm. I'm gonna go. I'm gonna go Baylor.
Hmm.
I'm gonna go Baylor, honestly. I
Do
think
any
Syracuse has been okay this year, but I don't think they have the firepower, I guess, to stick with
Mhm.
like better teams. When you look at their record, they lose to a lot of good teams and they beat a lot of like average teams. Like
Mhm.
they don't beat a lot of good teams. So yeah, I'm actually gonna go with Baylor on this one.
Does Cuse or Baylor beat the Zags in the second round?
Yes.
You have
Really?
Syracuse beating the
Hot take.
Zags, man?
I have Syracuse moving on against the Zags.
Oh,
Round of
I mean,
32.
I can't talk. I have Murray State beating the Zags, so
My gosh, guys!
I can't talk.
I mean,
Gonzaga's a good team.
they are a good team, but there's always that one that gets ousted early.
And it's
I
always
think it's gonna be
Gonzaga.
them.
It feels like it's always Gonzaga.
I just never have confidence in them in the tournament. I mean, they're honestly they're a really good team.
Yeah.
You look at them on paper, they're a really talented team, but there's just something about Syracuse every year that Jim Boeheim always coaches that team well, gets them very well prepared. I don't know. I just see that they beat Duke this year on the road.
Yep.
So I don't know. I just think they're gonna beat Gonzaga, and then they're gonna move on, play Florida State, and lose.
I think Rui Hachimura is gonna like blow up during this March Madness season. There's always a couple of guys who blow up, and I think he's gonna be one of the guys.
Mm.
He's their 4. On forward, he can play the wing. Yeah, I think I love him a lot. He dominated against Duke when they played earlier this year. I think he had like a triple double, something nuts for college basketball.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, but I like him a lot. I think he's a great all-around player, and I think he's going to take over at least the first couple games, up until they play. Honestly, I think they're gonna lose to the Florida State. I think that's fair.
You think Gonzaga's gonna lose there?
Yeah.
Mm.
But I do think they're a pretty solid team. I don't have them losing in the first or second round or anything.
Yeah.
Yeah. Last one's the Midwest 8-9 matchup, which is
Utah State, Washington.
Utah State and Washington. That's a good game,
That's
man.
a tough one.
Yeah. You know what? I'm actually just gonna go Washington because I've seen them a lot more this year,
Mm.
and I like their colors more.
That's always such a
There's
great
always gonna
list.
be a reason for that. Oh man.
I root for Washington a lot in pretty much all sports for some reason.
Mhm.
It's a team that I enjoy watching.
I watched them play against Oregon in the Pac-12 championship, and they just did not play well. They didn't really impress me all that much. Oregon just shut them down totally. They're just non-existent. I don't know about how they played the rest of the year, but I'm gonna go Utah State. I've heard they're a really good offensive team. I think that's just gonna give them the edge. Utah State.
Utah State. What about you, Zach? Who you got?
I've got Utah State because this team, well, they're going to lose to North Carolina, but I do think
Dang right.
I
I'm
have
not gonna
them.
be there. What do you mean?
What?
North Carolina.
Am I looking at the wrong matchup?
What?
No, they're
Oh.
gonna get knocked out of the first round.
They're gonna lose to
God,
Iona.
you just got me
Yeah.
so hard. Shoot. Oh wow, that came out wrong. No, I mean like you got me, bro. Didn't get me hard. Hey, yeah. So,
What's that?
I got Utah State going against this round of 32. I didn't pick them to beat North Carolina, but I'm not going to be surprised if they do. I have a weird feeling there's always that one team. I have a feeling it's going to be either UCF or Utah State this year. One of those two. I know I picked Murray to go far, but I don't believe in Murray. I just picked him because I picked him.
That's super fair. Yeah. I mean, the UCF pick is fair because UCF stylistically matches up really well with pretty much every team in college basketball.
I'd love to see them play FSU because FSU has a 7'4" center going up against a 7'6" center. That'd be awesome.
Someone's gonna tear their ACL in that game.
100%.
I'm calling. All right, so Zach, what was your final four again?
My final four was Duke and Michigan and Wisconsin Auburn.
Ooh.
So
Chris,
I have. Oh, sorry. Go ahead. Yeah.
My final four, I had the same with Duke and Michigan on the left side of the bracket. On the right side, I have 6th seed Villanova and North Carolina.
Okay, and I'm similar to Zach's, where I have Duke and Michigan, but I also have Purdue. I love Purdue's team. I think they have. I think they. I love teams in college basketball that can like dominate the paint because at that point teams have to beat you from the outside, and a lot of guys just aren't consistent enough from outside. You know, you don't get like a Buddy Hield and a Trae Young all the time in college basketball. It just doesn't happen. So a lot of those teams that can dominate the paint, they have a good shot to win.
Right.
And then, man, I want to say Auburn really bad.
Do it.
Auburn.
Hey, wait, how far do you guys all have Nova going?
I have them going to the Final Four. That's it. They're gonna lose.
I mean, they play Purdue in the round of 32. So.
Are you guys ready for the? This probably is my biggest upset.
Okay.
Go ahead and guess where I have Nova losing
The Elite Eight.
earlier.
The first round.
Hell
Mary's.
yeah! I got them losing to St. Mary's, my guys.
Honestly, St. Mary. I mean, they beat Gonzaga in the
It's
their
like
whatever
Chris said
conference.
Final Four or Elite Eight. I'm like, dang, shoot, I got them out in round one.
Yeah. That's the thing. I think they're gonna barely beat St. Mary's,
Mm-hmm.
and then I think Purdue's just gonna run over them.
Oh, Purdue is so
be
strong.
like, oh
Dude.
gosh. But
I
yeah, I
mean-
could see them losing St. Mary's though. Honestly, like
I'd be a little worried too, because, and I mean, the past success of like reigning champions, like in the following tournament, it's not been good. Like last year, North Carolina lost in the round of 32. The year before, Villanova did the same thing. A lot of times, teams don't even make it back to the tournament.
Yeah.
So I don't know, but I think Villanova's going to break the curse. They're going to make it to the Final Four.
Cool.
That side of the bracket for me is just crazy.
upsets all day.
Yeah, I have Oregon going to the Sweet 16. I have Villanova going over Purdue, but then I also have on the bottom half of the bracket there's the Cincinnati Iowa matchup and the Tennessee Colgate. I do have Tennessee moving on, but then I have Cincinnati beating Iowa and Cincinnati beating Tennessee.
Dang.
I'm telling you, watch out for Cincinnati. I'm telling you.
Okay.
They have a really good player. I think his name is Jarrett Cumberland. He had like 33 points in their championship game, and he is really good. They're really physical, a really good defensive team. I would not be surprised if they made it to the Elite Eight. I think they could go pretty far, but I do have Villanova getting past them in the Sweet 16, playing Virginia and beating them to move to the Final Four.
Oh.
Okay.
Yeah.
So they have a player. Cincinnati has a player named Logan Johnson. He looks like Tyler Johnson. This man is Tyler Johnson's brother.
Is he seriously?
Wait, did you just find that out live on the show?
Yes, Logan Johnson is Tyler Johnson's younger brother. I
Breaking.
was gonna say,
I'm
I was gonna say
looking
he
him
looks like a
up.
super ugly version of Tyler Johnson, and then I was like, wait,
What if he listens to the show, Matt? Come on, we just lost a follower.
he doesn't.
Hey, let's do this. Let's start at the Sweet 16, and I want you guys just to read through. You don't have to talk about it. Just read through your matchups. I want to see how different our matchups are. Chris, you start.
What was the question again? I was looking at Logan Johnson.
He's the MVP, dude.
Start from your Sweet 16.
Uh-huh.
Wait, Matt, do you have your bracket?
I got it right here.
Okay, cool. Dude,
Mhm.
this guy
Okay.
did not have a bracket before the show started. I just want to put that out there. And we let's see. Let's start
Alright.
from the Sweet 16 and just go run down your matchups without
Okay.
going over it too heavily.
Okay. So starting in the East, I have Duke playing Virginia Tech, and I have LSU beating Michigan State, and I have Syracuse and Florida State in the West, and Buffalo and Michigan. And then in the South, I have Virginia playing Oregon, Villanova playing Cincinnati, and then in the Midwest, finally, I have North Carolina playing Auburn, and Houston playing Kentucky.
Matt, you want to go through yours?
Okay. I have in the Midwest. I have Iona playing Kentucky.
You're serious. Okay. Okay. I'm just waiting for that to happen.
And then in the in the South, I'm gonna have Virginia playing Purdue.
Okay.
And then in the East, I'm gonna have I think a similar one, Duke and Michigan State.
That's the Elite Eight, right?
Yeah,
You read
or-
off the Elite Eight. Yeah.
Bobby.
No, you're good. You're good. You're good.
What is it? Duke versus Virginia Tech. Yeah, I agree with Chris's pick. That's a pretty solid pick.
Mhm.
And then what? Virginia versus Oregon.
Okay.
I'm gonna go Virginia, Oregon in the South, along with Purdue and Tennessee.
Nice.
And then yeah, like I said, in the East, I'm gonna have Duke and Virginia Tech, along with let's see, LSU versus Michigan State. I like that matchup. And then the West. Let's see.
The West is crazy.
West is crazy, man.
Mhm.
I'm gonna have Florida State versus Gonzaga, but that is probably not gonna happen.
Yeah.
What?
Those two teams are probably gonna get upset.
Mhm.
But I do have Gonzaga and Florida State. And then I'm gonna throw an oddball here. I'm
Yeah.
gonna have Buffalo at let's see. Buffalo and Michigan. Is that what you said, Chris?
Yes, I did.
I like that pick too.
Mhm.
Buffalo, Michigan. What you Zach? What you got?
So I have a couple of the same matchups as you guys and as you guys. Wow, you guys. In the East, I have Duke, Virginia Tech, and then I have Belmont versus Michigan State. As I said earlier.
Heck yeah.
In the West, I have the Zags versus Murray State and Buffalo versus Michigan.
Yeah.
I'm just laughing at how ridiculous my bracket is.
I think the Buffalo pick is a good pick. I'm gonna be honest.
Oh
Like,
yeah, they're a really good team.
Yeah, I
Yeah.
think they could come out of the West if I'm being completely honest. But
Oh yeah, I think we all said Buffalo, Michigan, right?
yeah,
And then I got Virginia, Wisconsin, Purdue, Tennessee, and then I have Auburn, North Carolina, and Houston, Wofford.
Honestly, Wofford could. I think they could beat Kentucky. They're a really good team.
I think so too. Yeah, I
I
really do.
can see it happening, but I wouldn't be shocked.
I can't. They got some good. I got some hoopers on
do.
that team, man. I'm telling you.
They've played some good teams this year too. They're 29-4. The only losses they have are from North Carolina, Kansas, Mississippi State, and Oklahoma. That's it.
Oof.
Yeah, they're good.
Wait, who are our final four teams again? Sorry, let's go through that really quick.
I got Duke and Michigan and Villanova, North Carolina.
Villanova. Matt, who are yours?
Auburn, Purdue, Midwest and South, and then I have Duke, and I'm still kind of stuck, but I'm gonna go Michigan.
So, who's your Elite Eight matchup with Michigan?
I got Florida
Mine?
State.
I have the Zags.
Okay, Zags and Michigan. Holy crap!
Again, I'm higher than Gonzaga. I'm a lot higher than a lot of people on Gonzaga.
Right.
They very well could get upset. I'm not saying that they're not gonna get upset. Like I'm saying, Duke for sure. I'm like Duke's not losing. Like,
Yeah.
they might lose in like the Final Four or something, but they're getting there. Like,
Yeah.
the Gonzaga could very easily lose to a lot of these teams in this conference.
Yeah, it's a
but I
tough one.
Yeah, but I just like their stars a little bit better.
Do we all have Duke winning the title this year?
No.
Oh, I have Duke winning.
Cool.
Who
I
do
have
you
Purdue
guys
winning.
Oh shoot!
Whoa.
Who are they beating in the championship game?
Duke.
Wow.
Do you have a reasoning for that, or do you just think that's gonna happen?
Okay, listen, man. I haven't. Okay, so I've watched a good amount of college basketball this year. Not like a crazy amount. And I think Duke is phenomenal. And I haven't watched Auburn in the past like month, which is where they really gotten hot. So Auburn very well could beat a team like Purdue. But I just love everything that we've said in this show so far about a team's effort, about a team's perimeter shooting, about a team being able to dominate in the paint. I think Purdue has all of that. And they may lose to Auburn, they may lose to a better team, but I don't know. I'm not super sold on Duke. Like, yeah, sure, if you're Zion and you can dunk 28 times and you go 27 from 28, it's like, great, you dunk 20 times, phenomenal.
Right.
But if you have actual guys in the paint that can stop you, that can match up with him, Very few teams do. I think Purdue does. I think UCF does. But I think we're going to see that he's not, the basketball god that people are proclaiming him to be.
Mm.
I just don't think he has the fundamentals. Like he's not a very good jump shooter. He doesn't have like a bunch of post moves he can go to. He just kind of says, "Get out of my way! I'm getting the ball in the hoop."
Yeah.
I mean, that's kind of like what Dwight Howard made a career off of. And
Well,
Dwight Howard was incredible in his first like 6 or 7 years, but yeah.
I mean, back when Zion got hurt, we talked about the state of their team and what would happen if they didn't have him.
Yeah.
The one thing that they don't have is a deep bench, and they don't have enough big guys besides Zion. I mean, they did have a few guys show up in the ACC tournament that played pretty well, but is that going to translate? Will they have enough people? Will they be healthy? We can't ever determine that. Is Zion going to be healthy the whole tournament?
I'm gonna laugh when Purdue loses to Old Dominion in the first round. I'm hyping him up this hard. And it's like, oh, that's
So yeah, I mean, I could see that Duke. I mean, they're the favorite, obviously, and for good reason.
Listen, man, I was like trying to be as accurate as possible. Yeah, I'd have Duke winning. Come on now.
Yeah.
But look, March Madness is crazy nuts.
It's madness for a reason.
Exactly.
It always is. Like,
yeah.
Like there's a very, very, very small part of me that wouldn't be entirely surprised if Duke lost in the round of 32, like we're saying. Like,
to UCF.
Yeah, like I wouldn't be that. It'd be crazy, but then also it'd be like, well, why are you shocked?
Like it's hard to be surprised for any result.
Yeah,
that's true.
Really.
And also, like you said, a lot of the games are just based on matchup. That was
right.
Was you, Chris?
Absolutely.
Yeah, a lot of the games are based on matchup, and UCF matches up like there are very few teams in the entire tournament who match up with Duke as well as UCF.
Right.
And I think they knew that. I think the selection committee knew that, and they were like, you know what? We're putting UCF right there.
Gotta find a way to get them out.
Yeah, because I think like any team that has a better chance, we got like Michigan State because they played them. Like other than like Michigan State in the entire East, the only team I think that even has a shot is like UCF because of the makeup of their roster.
I wonder if UCF gets past Duke, I'd wonder how far they can make it.
Dude, they can go.
I think they could go pretty far. Could they get past Virginia Tech? I think they could.
Yeah.
But Virginia Tech's a good perimeter shooting team, which Duke is not. So.
Right. The thing is, Duke is not. The thing is, Duke has 2 perimeter shooters.
Right. That's another thing. They lack perimeter shooting. They don't shoot the ball well, and they don't have a deep bench.
Yeah. I mean, it's like if RJ Barrett and Cam Reddish are going off, it's like, this game's over. You know what I mean? But as soon as like one of the two of them are having like a rough day from the floor, it's like they could lose. Like every game where one of them struggles, it's like, okay, this is a game now. Like they can lose this game realistically.
Yeah.
So, yeah.
So with all of that being said, I know we kind of started off with hot takes. I want to bring it back around really quick. Again, with all that being said, what is your biggest and also most realistic hot take out of not necessarily your bracket, but just the bracket that was given to us? Like what can you see happening? That's huge.
I mean, maybe I guess the Auburn thing, if I'm being realistic. You know what I mean? I think Auburn coming out of the Midwest is incredibly realistic. I think that definitely could happen. Because obviously Kentucky's ranked higher than them. They got North Carolina in the Midwest as well.
Right.
So like, obviously Auburn isn't the favorite, but I could see them getting out of that conference. I'm not going to sit here and say Purdue because I really honestly don't think Purdue is going to get there, but I believe in the team.
Sure.
The Boilermakers.
The Boilermakers. We have an old friend Tom.
Shout out to Tom.
Chris and I have an old friend Tom who went to Purdue, and I'm repping Tom's school. So yeah, but yeah, I think the Auburn pick.
Midwest, in my opinion, the Midwest is the best region out of all the regions. You got North Carolina, you got Auburn, Kansas, Iowa State, Kentucky, Houston. That region's loaded.
It's crazy. And then you got Zach over here saying Wofford's going to go all the way or some garbage.
I just have him beating Kentucky. I really think. I mean, if it's not Wofford, I don't have Kentucky going past the Sweet 16.
Mm. I'd love to see a North Carolina Kentucky matchup.
Who do you think would beat Houston? I'm guessing
Who the
Kentucky. You said you don't have Kentucky going past the Sweet 16.
right?
So if in that scenario, like Houston, Kentucky, you still think Kentucky loses?
Yeah,
Okay, that's fair. Houston's very good.
yeah,
Yeah.
I mean,
Right.
either way,
They
yeah.
basically have the same exact logo, except the H and the K. I mean, they look the exact same,
Whoa,
just different
that's-
colors. Look at that.
Chris, look at that on a
Look at it.
podcast.
optical illusion. Like in one of them,
Just look it up, everybody.
hold on. Oh no,
It's
I'm
crazy.
sorry. The H is sitting in front of the U, and the K is sitting in front of the U. But it looks at first. Oh wait,
I
yeah.
thought it was
At
the same
first
logo
glance.
at first glance.
Yeah. Interesting.
How about that?
How
Wow.
about it?
Information you don't
Really
get
hate,
anywhere else.
really
with the
hating on
Locked
Kentucky,
podcast.
huh?
Yep.
I'm
Yeah,
not
we
laughing
are.
if Kentucky like wins the championship.
Like,
Not again.
listen, I've only had one really good year in March Madness, and it was in 2000 and somebody else can correct me if I'm wrong. I want to say 2010 maybe, where Miami, I don't maybe because our listeners are annoying and they're gonna look up like random tidbits to make fun of us. I mean, I'm sure they would. They probably will now actually.
That's fair.
Just kidding. I love you guys. I had Miami just because I love the Hurricanes. I said they're gonna get to the Sweet 16. My bracket was 100% through the elite 8. I had a perfect bracket, and then Miami
I remember
lost. Miami lost. They were the one that everything else in my bracket was perfect except for Miami. I had Miami going to the championship game. I'm sorry, elite 8, and like I had it was like 96% correct bracket. Ever since then, I haven't gotten over 60%. So
Yeah, we're actually doing a something on ESPN.com, right?
Mm-hmm.
With the
Yeah.
bracket?
what's the
Why
info,
don't you tell
Chris?
Yeah. So basically, we made a public group on the ESPN Tournament Challenge, which you can download the app for it, or you can go online on ESPN and join our group. It's called the Lockdown Podcast, and we'll on our Facebook page we'll leave a link for you guys to be able to join it. You're only limited to one bracket, so this is just all for fun. You get to compete with us and see what happens. It's all for fun. So yeah, the Lockdown Podcast. There's no password. It's all public. You're limited to one bracket. Let everybody know. Let's have fun.
Yeah.
Yeah,
I'm here to win. I'm not here to have fun. So
Solid.
I mean, I'm still gonna be winning it, but you can still join it.
Listen, man, when Iona beats North Carolina,
Holy-
all of you are going to be
I'm pretty sure
groveling
Jesus
at
is
my
gonna
feet.
return if Iona beats freaking North Carolina.
They're a good team. I'm telling you.
I'm leaving the podcast if that happens.
No, we're gonna go to Chris's house and do a live episode of Lockdown. Just be like, Chris, how you doing, bud?
It's like 11 o'clock at night, right? Like an hour after Iona wins.
Bro, I gotta get up for work in the morning at that point.
You ain't going to work if Iona
I
beats
gotta
North Carolina. You're calling out. I'm sick.
I'm sick of this garbage.
Oh man.
Oh man, we have anything else March Madness related we want to talk about?
Mine. Okay, so for my national championship, I said my final four, but I didn't get to the national championship.
Okay.
My national championship is almost too good to be true, but it's going to be true.
What?
I have, for the fourth time this season, Duke and North Carolina.
Of course you do.
A fourth time.
But Duke wins by 1 point.
And North Carolina wins by 3 points.
Would that tie the season record matchup?
No, North
Or-
Carolina, but they're 2-1 against Duke this year, so they would be 3-1 against Duke.
That would be.
But wouldn't that be
crazy?
crazy? That
Yeah.
honestly, that national championship would probably be like one of the most hyped national championships of all time.
Where's the national title game this?
Minneapolis.
Okay, it's a neutral site.
Yeah,
That would be.
I mean that would be amazing. Zion Williamson.
That'd be more box office than Purdue.
I mean, you gotta watch out for Kobe White's hair, though. I mean, he can block any shot with his hair.
Hold on. Can't just do this. let's look at this dude's hair.
He gives him
Everybody
like
look
an
him up.
extra 3 inches.
Oh, yeah, he's got like stupid afro going on. That's fair.
He's
yeah.
got the advantage. Yeah, I mean,
Theo
obviously.
White. This guy's pretty good.
He is really good. He's one of the better players on the team.
Hey.
They're very experienced too. They got senior Luke May, transfer senior Cam Johnson, who's really good. Overall, they're just really deep, which Duke is not.
Yeah, Luke May is really good. He dominated one of those games against Duke, didn't he?
Yeah, he did. Yeah, the first game they played, he was really, really good. Yeah. So, my too good to be true but true matchup is Duke, North Carolina. North Carolina wins the national championship.
That's great. Good for you, Chris. I'm happy. I'm happy.
ready.
I'm excited for when. Let me actually see this, everybody. What day does Iona play North Carolina?
I think it's Friday of this coming week.
20.
It is Friday. It's the 22nd. It's Friday this week. I am so excited for Friday.
I hate you.
I can't wait.
I'm actually pretty excited for that game now too. Like, I'm not gonna lie.
It's at 9:20 p.m. on TNT.
Heck yeah. Maybe we'll get Charles Barkley on there.
I hope so.
You better not.
They should just do like
Idiot.
NBA countdown during the entire segment of March Madness. They're all employed by
God.
TNT. Like,
Yeah,
who cares?
might as well.
Might as
Hey,
well, man.
UCF plays VCU at 9:40 on Friday. Watch it.
At the
Watch
same-
Taco
wait,
fall
At the
fall
same
on
time? 9:40?
9:40. North Carolina's at 9:20.
Oh, so it's like the same time.
Yeah.
Flipping between the games. Like I'm like
And then
12
there's
years.
another one at 9:50 and another one at 9:57.
Oh my gosh.
There's like 4 games going on at one time.
I'm booked.
That's March Madness, man.
Yeah.
That's what happened.
First game's at 12:15.
Yeah. So
Well,
we're all
first-
pumped.
First games are on Thursday.
Thursday. March Madness starts on Thursday.
At 12:15.
All right. Sweet.
Minnesota Louisville.
Got to
first
make
game.
sure we fill out our brackets and get them on the ESPN website.
Yes.
Mhm.
Yes. Get
So
them
we're all
out before
pumped for it, all excited. Before we go for today, though, I want to say a couple things about NFL free agency. It's pretty much over at this point. A lot of awesome stuff has happened, like Antonio Brown to the Raiders.
It was over when it started.
It's true.
Odell.
Have we talked about Antonio Brown? We actually haven't talked about Antonio Brown to the Raiders, have we?
No, or Odell, or Nick
Odell to the
Foles.
Browns, which or the who?
Nick Foles, baby.
Nick Foles got paid
Saint Nick.
Saint Nick got
like what, like
paid.
$88 million or something.
Yeah, something like that.
88
Yeah.
million.
4 years, 88 million. Dude
Yep.
was gonna retire like 3 years ago. Then the Dolphins finally got rid of Ryan Tannehill.
And who's their new
Thank
starting quarterback? Who's the new
Jesus.
starting quarterback?
Ryan Fitzpatrick!
Magic, baby.
Fitzmagic.
It's in Miami.
They're gonna tank in style now.
Take it for Tua, baby. Take
Dude.
it for Tua.
Oh, okay.
My slogan.
Hot take.
So excited.
Miami trades up and maybe gets Kyler Murray.
I want to tweet I saw. This was a tweet from 2 months ago, and it said, "Would not shock me at all if the Dolphins trade away Ryan Tannehill for a couple of assets, sign a journeyman quarterback such as Ryan Fitzpatrick." Literally said they sign Ryan Fitzpatrick, tank in 2019, and get Tua Tagovailoa with the #1 pick in 2020.
Ooh.
And half of that has already happened.
Shoot.
It's a tweet from like 2 months ago.
That's actually
Yeah, I'm sticking with it.
that's brilliant.
They don't have talent of the team right now to even if they get Kyler to like put it around him.
Tua would be awesome in Miami.
Yeah, and I think and they have like the Patriots old defensive coordinator. I think he would work really well with Tua.
He's a winner though. Like
Yeah, exactly.
the Brian Flores, so it's no, I'm
Yeah.
just saying like it'd be hard for me to see them like try to lose this year after he just won the Super Bowl.
That's
but-
true.
I don't know.
In the NFL, you don't really have to try to lose when you don't have talent.
I,
When you build a team as pathetically as the Miami Dolphins have built their team for the past like 5 years,
yeah.
it's not too hard to lose games. A lot harder to win them.
On the flip side of that trade with Ryan Tannehill, what went into Tennessee's mind into doing that?
I don't. Are they
I
gonna?
don't get it. They released Blaine Gabbert So
yeah.
they're paying Ryan Tannehill $7 million a year just to back up Marcus Mariota, and they're going to compete for the starting quarterback.
It's the problem is that everyone's favorite quarterback, everyone's favorite player on a struggling team is the backup quarterback. Everybody knows this.
Mm-hmm.
But now you have two guys who are like pretty much on the same level.
And they're both injury prone.
And they're both injury prone guys. So what's going to end up happening is like Mariota might start, get hurt. Tannehill will come in, maybe play like a little bit better than Marcus Mariota. And the fan base is going to be like, oh my gosh, keep him in the game.
Dude, Derrick Henry is taking over as the quarterback. It's just what's going to happen. Because they're both going to get injured, and he's just going to take over.
It's the only option at that point.
Derrick Henry, let's get it. Heck yeah, dude.
Well, yeah. I mean, look, how good are the Browns going to be this year, though?
They're winning the division.
Oh, good.
Stacked,
Browns are going to be so good, man. They have talent everywhere on the offensive side of the ball.
And you got a depleted team in Pittsburgh. They don't have a whole lot going for them this year. Baltimore got a couple good additions, but their defense got stripped down bare.
Earl Thomas, dude.
They got Earl Thomas.
But they lost a lot of key players. They lost
C.J. Mosley, which is big.
Yeah. They lost. They got Earl Thomas, which is good for the secondary, but
they improved the run game.
And then you got Cincinnati, who's Cincinnati.
Yeah.
But
so
Odell. So that is a cool talking point. Whatever. We could talk all day about that.
However, Dorsey, I give you props.
John Dorsey's great. The Giants. What were they thinking?
Dave Gettleman is the worst GM in the history of football.
You have no idea how satisfied I was as a human being when Dave Gettleman made that deal, because it backs up everything I've said about his tenure with the Carolina Panthers.
True.
That the only year that they were good was because Cam Newton said, "I'm gonna just put this team on my back real quick," and then took the team to the Super Bowl. And because of that year, that Cam Newton had one of like the greatest years of all time by a quarterback, Dave Gettleman got credit and got another GM job that he didn't deserve. Dave Gettleman is a money guy. He's really solid at fixing your salary cap. He should just be like a salary cap consultant. That's pretty much all he's good at, is fixing a team's salary cap. In terms of like, in terms of looking at talent, deciding when to draft players and building a championship team is just bad. Just garbage.
Did you guys hear what he said at the combine about Odell?
No.
He's like, at the combine, he's like, we have no intention of trading Odell.
Heck yeah.
He's here to stay. 2 weeks later, they traded him to the Browns.
For Jabril Peppers and 2 draft picks.
And a first and a third. I mean, that's pretty good compensation.
Was it 2 draft
picks? At the same
picks?
time.
Yeah.
A first and a third round pick, yeah.
But it's
like, why? What's the reason to trade him?
Well, I mean, we've talked about on the show before. There are semi-logistical reasons for it, but guys, you got to get like there could have been so much more as far as assets you were getting. It's Odell Beckham Jr. Like, he's one of the best wide receivers in the game, and you got 3 assets.
Yeah,
like you got 3 items. Madden.
Get Golden Tate for like $9 million a year.
Oh,
yeah. I don't really. Well, listen, like I said, dude, he's a salary cap guy.
Yeah.
You know how much money they saved? Not really this year, because they still owe $17 million to Odell Beckham this year.
True.
But then like in the 3rd and 4th year of his contract, they don't have to pay that at all. They're done with it.
Mm-hmm.
And instead, they get Golden Tate, who's at $9 million. So like, you know, in a couple of years, you look at it, you're like, yeah, you know, that's going to save them on the salary cap.
Mm-hmm.
The problem is that they don't have quarterback, and they don't have an offensive line. And this move didn't help either thing, because apparently they're not going to try to get a quarterback in this year's draft.
That's what I heard too.
All the reports are saying they're not going to trade up. They're not. If Dwayne Haskins falls in the lap and he's the best guy on the board, they might pick him.
They're not interested in him apparently.
Yeah,
according to yesterday.
Yeah, so maybe they're just going to draft like an offensive lineman with a 6th overall pick, and then draft an offensive lineman with a 17th overall pick.
Yeah.
And then draft all offensive linemen. I don't know. And then they let Landon Collins walk when they should have franchise tagged him for another year. And then he went and signed that 6-year and like $83 million contract with the Redskins. Or that dude, he got money.
He got paid.
But New York can rest peacefully because they did get another box safety in return. So everything's okay, right?
Yeah, they got a worse box safety.
A much worse box safety. I don't know his name.
Jabril Peppers?
Oh, that's right. Well, I thought they got somebody else.
No, that's their starting. That's their starting rover or starting strong safety.
Yikes.
I'm just glad I'm not a Giants
Listen,
fan.
That's fair. Jabril Peppers isn't bad. I want to go ahead and say
It's all
that.
right.
good.
Yeah, he's good.
He's not bad. But his first year and a half in the NFL, he struggled playing any type of position. And then when he started playing well last year, it was first of all under Greg Williams, who's one of the best defensive coordinators in the NFL. And then he was also playing like a go crazy rover position, run around the football field and just read the quarterback, which if you're a talented athlete is probably the easiest position to play in football. Because you don't have any like gap responsibility. You don't have to like make sure the wide receiver doesn't get behind you. You're just running around the football field making plays. That's much different than Landon Collins playing free safety. You know what I mean? Like, playing man coverage on like slot receivers and stuff like that. Much, much different situation.
Mm-hmm.
So
Did you guys see the meme, like the Infinity War Thanos meme of Gamora, little Gamora talking to Thanos of, did you keep Eli? Yes. What did it cost? Everything.
But they have Eli Manning for one more year. Yay. That's great. I'm excited.
They're so stupid.
Listen,
maybe the other New York team's doing well.
The Jets, yeah.
Le'Veon, baby.
They got Le'Veon and
CJ Mosley.
Dude, CJ Mosley was a huge pickup.
But they got screwed with Anthony Barr.
That would have been so sick to have Mosley in Barr, dude. Oh
I'm really convinced that Barr's agent said, yeah, I know Anthony. He's going to commit. And he's like, hey, you're going to New York. And he's like, what? No. Why would you say that?
Yeah.
Like, I mean, I'm going to Minnesota, homie.
That's fair. I don't know. Also, real quick, though. Do you think I saw this question being thrown around a lot, and I'm interested to hear you guys' answers to it.
Mm-hmm.
Do you think Le'Veon Bell won the situation with the NFL, with the Steelers, with the Jets? What is it? I think he got a 4-year, $52 million contract.
With what he got.
Yeah, just 4-year, $52 million with $35 million guaranteed.
Didn't Pittsburgh offer him more though originally?
Pittsburgh only offered him a franchise tender, a franchise tag.
Their franchise tag was actually more per year.
Franchise tag was close to $20 million.
Yeah, he would have been getting paid. So he, business-wise, I think he lost big time.
Yeah.
In my opinion.
I think the only argument you can make is that if he got hurt during the year last year, he only would have made the $20 million and not had any guarantee.
He still would have gotten paid.
But he still would have gotten paid $20 million. And if he didn't get hurt, he would have gotten a better contract and had the $20 million.
Yeah, exactly.
So
he lost a ton of money.
He did.
And now he's playing
from around the league.
A lot of respect. Exactly. Yeah.
I don't know. Like,
yeah. What do you think, Zach? Do you think it ended up being a wise decision for him to sit out, or?
No, I'm like the only reason because he could have taken the franchise tag and mailed in that season because knowing Le'Veon, he would have like self-promoted James Conner to the starting role, but like, that's my boy, to make him look like a leader and then leave in a year, which honestly I would have accepted more than just sitting his sorry behind down for the entire season and like threatening to leave on multiple occasions. For Le'Veon, though, even though he was a majority of the problem in the locker room, he is leaving a locker room that he had a lot of problems with Mike Tomlin and Antonio Brown and Ben Roethlisberger. Like, I'm telling you, I give it 5 or 10 years until we get a 30 for 30 on the Pittsburgh Steelers Killer Bees. I'm waiting for it. It's going to happen. About all the crap between those three, like, I wish I could have a tagline right now for it because I'm thinking about it. I'm going to bring it next week. But
I really don't think Le'Veon Bell was any problem in the locker room. I honestly think what happened was Ben is just the worst.
He is.
Ben is just the worst.
Now he's got nobody except Juju.
You know what I mean? And I think if you're a coach in Mike Tomlin, who too often sides with Ben Roethlisberger, and Ben, I imagine they were just like, who cares about Le'Veon? James Conner is going to be our MVP. We're going to win with the guys who are here. And so the lineman just said that to the media, and it was like, probably shouldn't say it to the media. But they're a bunch of hogs. They don't know what they're doing. They eat barbecue and go block. Like, they don't they don't know what effect that's gonna have on like the media and the team. Yeah, I don't know. I think because I think Le'Veon wanted to get paid like an athlete type player because he wanted to get like wide receiver money.
Right.
And he did not get that at all. So if that was the goal, that was a fail. Obviously, he gets like $35 million guaranteed, $53 million in total. It's more money than any of us are going to sniff in our entire lives. So
never know.
Can't really call it a loss. But I don't know. I think, again, I think the only argument you can make is that if he got hurt last year, the total would have been less.
Yeah.
But still, I think this is a message to players. And just play. You get paid to play. Like,
you don't have that many years to play, so
you don't have that many years to get paid to play. Like,
especially for running back.
Everyone's on AP, man. Like, you can't keep playing until you're 33 or whoever old AP is. Like, still productive running back.
So moving forward, if we're looking at the Jets next year, is there potential in this offense? If we're looking at just the offense right now with Le'Veon and Sam Darnold,
potential for Sam to continue to develop and the offense to be pretty good.
I think they're a couple years away still.
Yeah,
it's basically they're not going to be that great this year.
A couple years away. I think it's going to be better than they're going to be the second best team in the division.
Okay,
I think they're a 7 or 8 win team.
They're gonna take the Dolphins spot. Usually it's like Patriots, Dolphins, and like Jets and Bills are the bottom feeders. I think it's gonna switch this year. The Dolphins will be a bottom feeder, and the Jets will be like an 8 or 9 win team. They have a lot of offensive talent. Robbie Anderson is like sneaky good at wide receiver.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, they got talent, and I think Le'Veon Bell is going to add a lot more versatility to that offense. He's going to help Sam Darnold a lot because he's a safety net, man. Every quarterback needs a safety net. It's like a guy you can always go to and rely on, especially on third downs. Yeah.
Their strength is defensively this year. Got a really good defensive line.
I do.
Adding CJ Mosley was huge. Jamal Adams is coming into his own. It's like,
yeah, he is.
He's very good.
That's the thing, man. Like if the Jets all develop like better than expected, they could be like a legitimately great team next year.
Yeah.
Now, will Sam Darnold continue to develop like that? No one knows.
Beat the Patriots.
Adam Gase had the secret sauce.
Yeah.
He beat the Patriots like 5 or 6 times in his stint with Miami.
Mm-hmm.
So he's got the sauce. He knows how to beat Bill Belichick.
What kind of sauce?
Literally any other team, he's got no idea.
He's got some barbecue chicken.
Or barbecue chicken.
Barbecue
alert.
Chicken.
Barbecue chicken alert, Ernie.
What are the odds that Ryan Fitzpatrick calls out Tom Brady this year?
0.
I wouldn't be surprised, guys. I would not be surprised if he's
Ryan
like, this
is a model citizen of the United States of America.
Or he's gonna walk up week 2 of preseason and say, "This is our division. Step off."
Ryan Fitzpatrick just shows up. He shows up and plays ball with his friends, plays football with his friends, and goes out and then goes hunting. He doesn't call anybody out.
Like a dad, typical dad.
Dad. What do you? He's not gonna call Tom Brady out. Come on now.
I'm just saying.
How many teams has he actually played for? Like 10?
He played for 3 of the 4 AFC teams, right? Or 2 of the 4. What's the number? He played for the Jets, Bills, and now Dolphins, right?
Yeah, he's played for all 3.
Yeah.
Dude, go get a ring in New England, Ryan. After your contract year next year.
Yeah.
When you get booted out by Tua, go to New England for a year. Just back up for Tom.
Booted out by Tua.
Might as well.
Oh man.
Any other
8 teams.
8. Oh,
8.
Close.
Who else?
Yeah. Rams, Bengals, Bills, Titans, Texans, Jets, Bucks, and Dolphins.
I remember Ryan
The
Fitzpatrick on
Bengals, really?
Texans.
Yeah.
I forgot he was on the Bengals.
He was the 250th pick in the NFL draft.
Jesus.
That gives hope to that should give hope to every quarterback ever.
He's still here.
That should give hope to every Ivy League player
Yeah, Harvard.
ever.
Yeah.
He's
And
still here.
Jeremy Lin.
And
Jeremy Lin.
Any other closing free agency thoughts? Anything that blew your mind, Scott? Your guys' mind a little bit?
One thing is Antonio Brown was late to his introductory press conference
Typical.
by 20 minutes. And in the press conference, he said that he's going to take responsibility in the locker room for guys that show up late.
That's like coming to an AA meeting drunk and saying, "No, I'm going to help you guys."
That's
Like,
such a Raiders
what?
move. That's a
It is.
total Raiders
It
move.
was,
I bet John Gruden loved it too.
Mike Mayock. Too.
I don't know if John Gruden knows how to feel about it. Like if you
I
look
don't know
at
if he even
face,
knows he got Antonio yet.
look at his face during the press conference. Sometimes he looks happy. Sometimes he just looks like, "What did I get myself into?"
Yeah.
Like,
I got 9 more years left to go.
yeah.
My hot take for free agency is Oakland cut Jordy Nelson. They released him, and I think he's gonna go back to Green Bay. I'm convinced he's coming to Green Bay again. He's going to retire next year, and I'm excited for it. It's not really that much of a hot take, but
Green Bay has actually made some moves this offseason.
They made a whole bunch of defensive moves, and now we have to pay a crap ton of money to guys I'm not incredibly expected of.
Who?
So we got Amos on defense. I don't know his first name. Adrian Amos.
Oh,
And
yeah.
He's a safety.
Good.
Yeah.
We got a defensive end. We have another offensive lineman. I couldn't tell you their names off the top of my head. And a outside linebacker to cover for Nick Perry, who got cut. So there are some strides, but they offered bank for Amos. He got like.
He's good though. He's really.
He is good, but they paid him a lot, and now there's zero cap space in this Green Bay team. It makes me a little nervous for the future, but I mean, if it pumps out wins, then that's all that matters. So
both your
overdue for a Super Bowl run.
Both your teams decided to take an offensive lineman from Denver. So
yeah,
I wasn't too thrilled about that. The Panthers signing for Matt Paradis was very good.
Yeah,
for Carolina.
Yeah.
And then the Packers took Billy Turner, offensive tackle, who's really versatile.
Nice.
It'll be good for them. But Matt Paradis, man, I was bummed about that.
All Cam's best
He's
years
so
had a
good.
He's had a reliable center along with him.
He's arguably a top 3 center in
Yeah.
the NFL, and they got him for $9 million. I mean, that's just crazy.
3 years, $9 million a year.
I was pretty upset about that.
Very happy about that.
Apparently, the Broncos were concerned about his ankle. That's why they didn't sign him.
Interesting.
So
Yeah. Listen, man, as long as Cam comes back and his shoulder isn't like mincemeat, I'll be happy.
one of the teams though in free agency that's kind of disappointed me in a way is the Colts, because they had a ton of cap room and they've done nothing.
No. They didn't want to. They're building a vision. I think they have a vision of a bunch of good young players, and they want to keep it that way. You know, they got to pay. Look at who they got. Look at who they're gonna have to pay in the next 2 or 3 years. There's a lot of guys they're gonna have to pay, and I would bad contract and hurt their cap.
Maybe I could use a different word. It's not disappointing, but it's more like surprising in a way to me.
Right, like they can make 1 or 2 signings and actually be a legitimate contender in the NFL. Right. But instead, they're like, we're gonna save our cap for the future, and it's like. Yeah, but you got a chance now,
right?
To be an actual, like a real contender. So like,
they arguably had the best offensive line.
That's true. They have an incredible offensive line, and if they can wait out Tom Brady like 2 or 3 more years, they have a bunch of young talent. You're gonna be able to re-sign all of that talent in the next couple of years. And Tom retires or falls off because he's gonna be like 45 years old, and then all of a sudden, now the Colts are like the best team in the AFC.
Yeah,
I mean, it makes sense. It's a legitimate plan. Something that the Giants don't have.
Amazing.
Literally not a plan.
Oh, jeez.
Guys, we got a plan. Keep it Eli Manning. Get rid of Odell Beckham.
And what else? That's it.
Yeah.
You know.
I'm excited. Oh, Deshaun Jackson going to Philly.
I like that move.
That was a cool one.
That was good.
Chip Kelly is a bad person. He tried to call Deshaun like a thug and got him kicked out of Philadelphia. I felt really bad for Deshaun during that, and I'm glad he's back. He loves being in Philly. That's kind of
prodigal son returns.
Yeah, they got a really good value signing there too with Malik Jackson.
Oh yeah, they got Malik.
3 years, $30 million.
Yeah,
still got a lot of left in him. He's really good.
Too bad they have bounce it to him wins. He's not gonna do anything.
Who's their backup now? I think Nate Sudfeld is a free agent. Like, who do they have?
I have no idea. They only won a championship because they had Nick Foles. So
yeah,
you know, like last year, Carson Wentz was worked in Dak flipping Prescott, and it's like, all right, like, come on, man.
True.
Yeah, I don't know. We'll see.
It sure has been a crazy agency though.
Cowboys also did nothing. Had 2 guys suspended for weed, and then lost Cole Beasley.
But Matt, hold on. Matt, no, listen. They went out and signed a star tight end in Jason Witten. Like, you got to know this adds on to the depth of their team, right? Right? I know. Like, we can't sit here and roast the Dallas Cowboys when they sign a, like,
future Hall of Fame talent in his prime.
Homie's coming from a commentating booth, and now he's going to go on a football field to probably start. Maybe.
He had a year off to rest his achy, breaky bones. I'm gonna kill him.
Dallas is dumb. That's pretty much all.
Hey, you know who's taking over for him in the booth?
Ooh.
Peyton Manning. Calling it.
That's
I
not
want Pat
fair.
McAfee in the booth.
Honestly,
bro.
if that was real, I would have freaked out because I love Peyton's analysis on football.
I know. I would love that. I would freak.
You know what I would love? Peyton and Tony Romo calling a game together.
Holy-
That's
They
They
would
would
just-
start-
I know
that would
Peyton-
ruin
like
football.
Tony would be
That would
like,
be amazing.
"Oh, he's calling an audible. It's definitely going to be a post route up the corner." And Peyton's like, "What are you talking about? He's definitely running an out route." And it would just
Yes.
be battles of what the wide receivers and running backs are going to do all game. It's going to be
They would just-
amazing.
They would basically prophesy what's going to happen for the rest of the game.
It'd be
and-
like, and it would always be right because one of them has to get it right. So,
Yeah,
two
exactly.
chances.
oh, we need new commentators bad. Oh man, is that all we got tonight?
I think so.
Yeah.
Been a crazy week of March Madness and
It has been crazy.
NFL free agency.
It's been very
If you're a
crazy.
sports fan, it's been awesome.
It's been awesome too. You know what is really crazy and awesome?
What's crazy? What's awesome?
This is a podcast.
No way, really?
What?
Yeah, we're not just calling each other. We're like recording this. This is a podcast.
I didn't know that.
And the funny thing about podcasts is you can't just save it, post it. You have to distribute it. And now you're probably thinking, oh, you have like one distributor. Like that's all you need, right? TLP has 10 distributors.
Dang, it's a lot. That's a lot.
Dang.
10.
Zach, where can they listen to
Where,
us?
where are we? Yeah.
We are on Anchor, Apple Podcasts, Google Podcasts, Spotify, Breaker, Castbox, Overcast, Pocket Cast, Radio Public, and most importantly, Stitcher. Bye, guys.
Bye.
Nice job not messing it up. Hey, Zach, what episode is this?
Bye, guys.